Oh, Danny. We really gonna do this again? Netflix has dropped the trailer for Iron Fist Season 2. So let's start with a little bit of context for me, since I have gained many subscribers since the first season, which I hated. It was astounding how bad it was. The first season of Iron Fist, I did finish it, but I only finished it out of spite because I hated it so much I knew I was gonna have to yell about it, and I knew if I didn't finish it, there would be people who told me, well, you didn't even finish it, how can you complain about it? So I'm like, I have to watch the end of this so that I am fully justified in yelling about it. So I hated that first season. Like, everything was bad. The fight choreography was bad. The way the fights were shot was even worse. Danny himself as a character was insufferable. The Hand, I've done a recent rant talking about the Hand. They are the worst. They are awful. Just no. Like, there was a handful of moments, tiny aspects, little things. Just no. Whole lot of no. So, I don't have a lot of confidence going into this trailer. In fact, I saw it dropped in my immediate thought was, oh, crap. But there are a few things I'm trying to keep in mind. The first is that the showrunner has changed. It's no longer Scott Buck, because Scott Buck is a cancer of television who needs to not be allowed to taint any more properties. Ever. If you don't know who Scott Buck is, not only did he showrun Iron Fist, he was showrunner on Inhumans, and more egregiously to me, he was the showrunner during the last season of Dexter, including during the single worst series finale in the history of friggin' television. But he's gone. He's not on this anymore. I don't know much about the new person who is now show running, but it does mean there is the potential for it to pick up. But there were a lot of things that were wrong beyond just the writing. But let's actually start getting to what's in this trailer. The action scenes that we see and the fight scenes that we see look better in some respects than they had previously. Because there were basically three major problems with the fight scenes in the first season of Iron Fist. And they appear to have definitely fixed two of them and possibly fixed the third. I can't make a call on that. Those three problems were the fight choreography was boring. Danny himself could not sell the physicality. He didn't, watching him do it, it was not convincing at all. And then finally they were just shot horribly. Now, these fight scenes look better choreographed. He is definitely doing much better with the physicality. And we kind of seen that already with the Defenders and then his appearance in Luke Cage. So he has settled into what this part requires of him physically much better. So that's good. I can't say whether or not the fights are actually being filmed and edited any better though, because it's a trailer. The fight scenes have been cut up and shortened and condensed. We're only getting a little snippet, so I can't judge that part of it. I'm really hoping that's better too, because if the other two things are better, but it's still shot like crap and I can't see it because it's severely underlit, then it won't matter. So fingers crossed they fix that one too, because they fixed the other two things. So there's potential there. But then Danny had to open his mouth. And he said a line that actually I heard him like, no, he didn't say that. I misheard that. I didn't even want to play it a second time. I backed up just that part of the trailer and was like, no, he said that. And the thing that he said that made me go, wait a minute, was, I didn't ask for the Iron Fist. I suppose technically that's true because he didn't ask for it. He willingly participated in a series of trials culminating in the fight with a dragon in order to acquire it. So I suppose technically he didn't just ask for it, but he volunteered for this crap. He wasn't forced to take this trial. He chose to do this. This was a big part of what made him so insufferable in the first season. All about, I earned the Iron Fist. Now he's treating it like a burden. And look, I'm not saying that he can't be bogged down by it, that there can't be some sort of, downside to this thing that he fought for. But you can't act like this was something that was thrust upon you when you fought to get it in the first place. I didn't ask for this. Yes, you did. Bite me, Danny. And that was such an immediate, it brought me right back to everything I hated about his character in the first season. And he is just, he's the rich kid with superpowers complaining about how hard it is to be him. Bite me, Danny. And, maybe there's some context for when he says this. Maybe, if we're really lucky, it's a trailer line. It's not in the show at all. Or, my personal preference, somebody, like ideally Colleen, upon hearing him say that, goes, shut up. That's bullcrap. If somebody could please call him out on that, the way I want to call him out on that. Moving on from that moment, Davos is back, which makes me nervous. He wasn't the worst thing about the first season, but he wasn't great. He didn't elevate things. He didn't help. I'm nervous about having him back because potentially it means the Hand in some form is coming back. I'm still holding out hope that that isn't the case, though, because there's a heck of a lot of emphasis in this trailer, at least, on the personal motivations, the personal grudge between these two, which, even if the Hand does come back, and fingers crossed they don't, but even if they do, that is a good angle to take it at, and actually would be that was one of the big things missing from the implementation of the Hand up to this point, because you just had this nebulous ninja group, and people are like, oh, we should stop them because they're bad, and there was a lack of personal stakes. If we zero in on this guy who Danny knows, who Danny has a history with, we can get those personal stakes and that personal butting heads of a protagonist and an antagonist that the first season severely lacked. So potentially he could work, and he could work well. And they're obviously, I couldn't be sure if he is getting his own version of the Iron Fist or if he's actually taking it from Danny. I'm inclined to think the latter, because I didn't see a scene where Davos lights up his fist and Danny had his lit. So that to me says that he probably just flat out took it, but we'll see. And Misty's back, which is good. I like Misty, and I love Misty with Colleen. I loved their little bit in second season of Luke Cage when they were together. Was awesome. Was great, and I want to see her back, and I want to get more from her, especially with Colleen. I don't really care about her and Danny, but that's because I don't really care about Danny. I would love for there to be a Daughters of the Dragon spinoff with just Colleen and Misty. I would be all for that, but it's nice to have her back in any case. But that's kind of it. Those are the major points, and then it was more fighting. The music was good, and that's just kind of it. There are bits and pieces and things that I can look at and think of, okay, that has potential, and see how this could possibly work. I am not getting excited because that first season was just atrocious. There was almost nothing good about that first season of this show. So, I mean, I can't let that, I can't just go, oh, I'm sure it's fine now. But I'm seeing potential, and I want to be surprised by this. And I'm not seeing as many red flags as I was expecting to see. Still plenty of stuff that concerns me, though. So those are my thoughts on the first trailer. I think it's the first trailer. Well, there was like the teaser announcement stuff, but like the first proper trailer for Iron Fist Season 2. You've seen it. What do you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. There's all that stuff you can do. You know what it is. There's links for it down below, and there's buttons that you can press and all that stuff. I have a Patreon. I'll mention that, but check out the links in the description if you care. And remember, folks, you are the council. I just run the meetings. So until next time, this council is adjourned.